Welcome back to the channel, people. KG is back, and this is the Cardiff versus Leeds United match preview. Head of a weekend for Leeds United that it has to go right. For me, it has to go right. 3 points, I've said it in the title. There's no spoilers here. Nothing less than 3 points is acceptable, and I'll get into my reasons why. And before I do, please hit a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, drop your comments and score predictions in this one below. Thank you to Carl, who's become a member of the channel. Big up and shout out to all my members. If you want to become a member of the channel, the link is in the description. Sai in the house, first like again, salute to you, Sai. Morning to Ina. Annabelle saying, morning, KG in the chat, big win incoming, please. Well, yeah, I mean, only wins for me. I cannot envision. I mean, of course, there's scenarios where you don't win the game, but why didn't you win the game? And that's what we're going to speak about today. We're going to do this pretty quickly, I think. He said that yesterday, went over half an hour. Look, I don't mind how long the videos go, but like I say, with some of these games, I will be doing pre-recorded ones, so look out for the uploads for that. So hit the notification bell on the channel so you know when I've uploaded a video. In terms of team news, we know what this was from yesterday in terms of Solomon. I don't believe he'll be playing in this game. Quite frankly, I think that with Solomon, even if it's a minor doubt, you need to sit him out just from his previous injury history. So I'd be very surprised to see Solomon involved in this game at all. And there was also doubts in regards to Rodon, even though he feels he'll be fit, and Junior Firpo. And that was the interesting one when I was doing my suggested 11, because I would have put Schmidt in if it is a serious injury, but I just get the feeling, I don't know what it is. I get the feeling that if Firpo was past fit this weekend, then maybe it was, I don't know, mind games or something. I don't know, because someone with a potential MCL injury shouldn't be playing this weekend, in my opinion, just from what we've seen before with MCL, ACL injuries. But if he's past fit, then of course you go with Junior Firpo to start. But there's a few doubts in there, and maybe Max Verber comes in for Rodon, but I guess we'll find out tomorrow. In terms of that, and we're going to look at Cardiff City's team. I don't know what kind of team they're going to put out, but I'm going to show you their team from last week and show you exactly why we shouldn't be fearing this football team. Shane saying Cardiff for the first win of the season gives the manager a lifeline. Heard it here first. Listen, guys, if you think Daniel Farke sounded under pressure in that press conference yesterday, which he did, then you need to go and watch this guy's press conference. This guy was talking about he's on the boat and he's not jumping off the boat. He's he's in it together. He didn't even take a press conference at the end of the game last week or the next day when usually managers do. He wasn't there. It was looking like he was going to get sacked. This guy is literally on the brink of being sacked. There is no reason why Leeds United should repeat last year against Southampton and give this man a lifeline. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, we're talking about Leeds under pressure. This is a team that's lost 4 in 5 league games. So even if you are the most disillusioned Leeds United fan, there is no reason for you to think that we shouldn't be winning this game, because whatever you think our problems are, Cardiff's are worse. So there is no excuse. And listen, Danny Farke came out yesterday. He did what he does. It was a very interesting press conference. When his back's against the wall, he always then brings out the passionate Leeds supporters, and this club is emotional. Everyone wants the best. He was doing a rallying call, and it's more directed to the passion merchant fan base, because they know they're easier to manipulate and just go with a few words. Yeah. But I've always said it, words mean nothing without actions. So you got to follow that up. You got to follow that big speech that you made yesterday with 3 points this weekend. Now, listen, yeah. So Leeds, we should beat these with these. We should, and this is it. In terms of the game, there are always ways that you can lose the game. There are always ways that you think, oh, okay, we bad referee, a penalty that's not a penalty, own goal out of nowhere, goals against the run of play. But I still think that within our control, we should be more than good enough to win this game. Cardiff as well. One thing we've got to just highlight as well, because this will be for both teams. Sol Bamba, there's a big tribute for Sol Bamba at the Cardiff game tomorrow. And again, I know this is, and rest in peace to Sol Bamba always, but you just get the feeling. I had this vision in my head of Cardiff winning, and then Danny Farke after the game saying they took the emotion of Sol Bamba and he channeled it into a victory. I can't help it. He is, listen, no matter what you think of Danny Farke, he does love an excuse. Okay, he does love an excuse. Genghis Khan's mom saying good. I think you spelt morning wrong, Genghis Khan's mom. Here's a little start today, and thank you for that. And shout out to SB as well for the super thanks on the last video, much appreciated. In terms of that, so yeah, Cardiff, it's a Sol Bamba game. He obviously represented both clubs very well, especially our club. He was brilliant in such a dark time. But yeah, there'll be that on the docket as well for tomorrow. So let me just go with the team that I would go with, and of course put your team suggestions below. This is very unknown because there's a few question marks in the team, and like I said earlier, if Firpo's not pass fit, then obviously Schmidt goes in at left back for me. But if we can keep the same back five together, try and keep them going, get them building up chemistry together, and get the clean sheets back on a roll again, I would roll out the same back five. In terms of that, yeah, one of the best, really cool guy, really cool guy, Sol Bamba. Um, Now here it is. I know what he said in the press conference in regards to not changing things and keeping things the same, to having a solid base, as he likes to say, or basement, as he likes to say. But if you're not going to unleash Tanaka in this game, who can give you the defensive side, but also put Cardiff on the back foot, this is a team in deep trouble. The last thing they need is a player that's going to be progressive with the passing, that's going to move into spaces, that's going to probably look for a goal. They're not going to want to see this tomorrow. But if you give them Gruev and Ampadu, it's going to give them the same chances that every other team seems to get, and that is getting back into a deep block because the ball's not moving quick enough and they can get back into a shape. You put in an industrious midfielder in there, and Rothwell is probably going to be off the cards because he rolled his ankle. Maybe he makes the bench people. But for me, this is said it before in regards to Rothwell starting game, but this is a perfect game for Tanaka to start. And you just wonder if he's not going to start against bottom of the table Cardiff, when is he going to get a start? And I think tomorrow's game will probably give you a real intention of Danny Farker. Is he going to be back in his words, like he said, in terms of having a solid base of Ampadu and Gruev, or are we going to get a mix? Are we going to get a variation of the formation and the talent in the team to make us look a bit different or play a bit different? Yeah, Eloquentry here saying, yeah, we should be beating teams like this, but we are Leeds United, and how many times have we gifted lifelines? I don't disagree, Eloquentry, but at some point, you have to break these cycles. You have to break them. Matt saying, morning all, good to catch you live, Cage. You've been missing them as of late. Yeah, listen, I don't know what's happening in terms of whether it's you're busy or something, but there's been other people that have been missing the lives as well. All I'd say is just put the notification bell on and you'll know when I've gone live. Like I say, though, I will be uploading a few of these videos because there's no need for some of them to go so long, and not everyone can always tune in. So I will be uploading them as well. So look out for those on the channel too. But shout out to you, Matt, and thank you. Okay, work getting in the way. I hate that. I hate when work gets in the way. One of those. But yeah, listen, in terms of the midfield, put in an industrious midfield in there, put in something that will be different. People know what to expect when it's Gruev and Kamara. Kamara, Ampadu and Gruev. They know what's going to happen. It's two defensive midfielders, and you've got time to get back into shape. And as much as I like Gruev as a defensive midfielder, he doesn't move the ball quick enough. It's 2-3 touches. You know what I mean? So let's see what Tanaka can do. Genghis Khan's mom follows up, keeping Gruev and Ampadu showing a lack of trust in the defense. We need to be positive from the start. Ooh, I mean, yeah. Is it a lack of trust in the defense, or is it just Danny Farker just being ultra careful in terms of trying to keep a solid defense? We've seen it in history before. Obviously, the most extreme manager is Jose Mourinho. He's done it the best, where it doesn't matter if you stink out the joint, like he said in many matches when he's asked about possession. Well, they can keep their 85% possession. We're going to take the 3 points and go home. Love Jose, man. What a guy. What a winner. But it's different course. And you just think with Daniel Farker, he seemed pretty burnt as well from the Borough game, where he did play Rothwell at the start. And he mentioned it in the press conference yesterday in regards to, I tried that one and it didn't work, even though that is very different circumstances for both teams with the lineup. But we'll see what his intentions are tomorrow. And so we're moving up, and this is where it can get, and this is where we're probably going to have a difference of opinion, and this is where we don't know what's happening. Is Ramazani going to get a start? You would think with Solomon, potentially being out, or more than likely being out, he should be here and starting from the left. Cardiff won't want someone that is a dribbler with pace, invading spaces, trying to go at them. Let's get Ramazani starting. When Solomon's not starting, Ramazani's got to start in that spot for me. The right wing, we know Dan James is out, so I'm putting Aronson on the right, but we know that him and Nonto will interchange and probably cluster up the middle at times. So Aronson will, for me, starts on the right. Nonto, keep him in the 10, keep him going there, keep the road, keep the reps going in at 10, keep him going in that spot so he gets more used to it. He's already looking good in that spot. Don't move him from there, keep him there. And of course, we stick with Mateo Joseph up front. But what I wouldn't be too mad at, and I'll say this now before the game actually comes on, is if we go a different way, if Ramazani for whatever reason isn't ready to start, I mean, again, there will be questions why he's not ready to start. But if we go with Nonto from the left and we put João Peru in behind Joseph, I'd understand that too. Yeah, Matt. I hear you, Matt. I won't bring that up. It's not it is what it is, Matt. It is what it is. When you I look, if I say too much, you know on those. But I appreciate the support, Matt Davis. They ain't won yet. We ain't scored from a corner since about 2017. Let's score from a corner and keep them winless. Even a draw isn't good enough. Carl, I 100% agree. I don't want to see a draw tomorrow. And this is where it comes in. We as fans, me, Carl, and everyone else who are expecting wins can expect wins. The players will go about this in a professional manner. They will treat Cardiff like every other team, prepare well, don't take them for granted. But ultimately, we should be beating that Cardiff City team. And for me, a draw isn't good enough. If we're saying a draw is good enough tomorrow, when do we start thinking that wins in a row is going to be acceptable? And from where? We got Coventry next week. When do we start getting on that winning run that propels you into the top two? That's the question I would ask for anyone that's thinking a draw is good enough for tomorrow. Um, Let me just yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, and Genghis Khan's mum saying also changing lineup with Ramazani and Tanaka gives Cardiff a different and unknown problem. Exactly. Change it up. If we see Gruev and Ampadu tomorrow play together tomorrow, we know what to expect, and so will Cardiff. You know what I mean? They'll know. But if you change it up, you throw a spanner in the works, you throw a spanner in their game plan. And listen, Danny Farker said himself, teams when they lose a game, they turn over every stone. Well, we also lost the game as well, so I expect us to have turned over every stone as well to improve tomorrow. Mark saying, morning KG, Farker will stick with the same defensive shape, in my opinion, stubborn to the end. Well, listen, I've said before, and I said it yesterday, in terms of Danny Farker being strong, standing on his sword. We've had managers that have done that previously, probably most notably Bielsa. And it's fine. When you've got a philosophy and you want to stick to it, that is absolutely fine. But if it doesn't work, you have to pay the price with your job. And it's as simple as that. Don't mind it. But then what I don't want is people trying to rewrite history. And when he's sacked and saying, oh, but he tried this, he did this and that. No, he's done the same thing. Even in preseason, we saw differences that he was looking to implement. We haven't seen those changes this season in the actual competitive games. And I don't mind. Look, if you're gonna stand on your sword, make it work. But if not, you will die by it too. Simple as that. And let me just show you, just for anyone wondering, here's Cardiff's. And by the way, put your team lineups in the comments below. It'd be very interesting because we really don't know what's going on with the fitness. In terms of Cardiff last week in their defeat against Derby County, this is their team, people. This is their team. Joel Rawls is in there. I think he's their captain. El Ghazi. People saying that El Ghazi and Solomon running from the El Ghazi smoke. I don't know about that, but Callum O'Dowd. O'Dowd. Some dude called Kangaroo up front. Callum Chambers. Come on, guys. Like, this is a team. And look, just for depth purposes, here's their bench. Come on. Really, man? If we're not looking to beat this team tomorrow, then I don't know what to tell you. I honestly don't know what to tell you, people. Let's have a look. Carl here just saying, last season, Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton rotated regularly and they went up. We didn't change anything or make subs. We're stuck in this league again. We are, and it's kind of fitting tomorrow that it's Ipswich versus Southampton tomorrow, isn't it? So there you go. But look, this Cardiff team is terrible. And once again, for context, here we are. And this is another thing for us, just on our end. We need to shoot up this table. We're ninth at the minute. Yes, it's only 5 games, but we've got 8 points. We're looking at the top two here in double figures in both 13 and 12. I don't think they're going to be sustainable, but why put it in their hands? Let's put it back in our hands and get on a winning run and shut this all up. That's the best thing for it. Look, and there was someone in the chat yesterday talking about our form's been good. Well, the form being good would be West Brom's here, or even Sunderland's, even with that one defeat. For me, 2 draws and a loss in 5 games is not good form. That's not acceptable for me. Maybe it's acceptable for you, but it's not acceptable for me with the team that we've currently got. So yeah, we do need to shoot up the table. And by the way, just for let me scroll all the way down to the bottom. There's Cardiff. I should enlarge this a little bit more just for full context. Can you see what we're playing against tomorrow? 0 wins, 1 draw, 4 defeats, -10. They've scored 1 goal, people. Right. With that being said, with all that being said, score predictions, people. Let's go. Now, listen, I'm going to go with Farker's going to get this right. The players will get this right tomorrow. We're going to have to be more clinical in front of goal, in all fairness to Farker. Take your chances when you get them. But also, if we don't take those chances, create more. It can't just be like last week where we get 1 or 2 good opportunities in a championship game and then that's it. The rest are like half chances. They have to be quality chances that we get in. If we do miss them, you can't just rely on 2 big chances and that's it in the game. Absolutely not, especially against a team that's bottom of the league. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go 3-0 Leeds United. 3-0. And I don't think I'm being unreasonable with that. Sai saying I'm going 1-0 Leeds. Bamford from a corner, I can feel it in my water. You got jokes. Matt saying 3-0 dominant. Matt Davis saying 3-1 Leeds win. Yep. Kate saying 2-0 Cardiff. Let me tell you, if that happens, listen, if I speak, and Kat are saying 4-0 Leeds, I like that. Annabelle saying 3-0. It's just popped up here. Yeah, 3-0. Ina saying 3-1 Leeds. Darren going for 3-1-2. Alison, no, 1-1. And Matt C going 1-0 Cardiff. Dr. Cox going 5-0 Leeds. Yeah, I'll ask this now before we get to the game because emotions are always different after a game. I want to know your pre-match thoughts. And if we do lose this game, what are your thoughts in regards to Daniel Farker then? Being serious, like if we lose this game for whatever reason, all the scenarios I've given you is still no excuse for me. You should still be able to control this game against Cardiff to win this game tomorrow. But if we do lose, what say you? Nothing's going to happen after the game, by the way. He won't be sacked. So, but I would be interested to know what you would actually do. Yeah, Matt saying no excuse for anything other than the Leeds win. Yeah, and TB going 4-0 Leeds. Yeah, listen, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. Dr. Cox saying here, if we lose, Farker should be on thin ice. I think he would be. I think he's already under pressure at the moment. And quite frankly, I think we saw that in the West Brom game when we set up to not lose that game. I saw the nervousness on his face whenever the camera panned to him. He looked nervous. He looked like a guy that we had just lost 3-0 against Borough at home. We had an unacceptable result against Portsmouth. He looked like he was feeling it a little bit then. So listen, both managers are feeling that. I've just showed you what the Cardiff manager's been saying. He's under pressure too, people. Matt saying depends on the manner. If we miss 3 pens and hit the post 12 times and get robbed, then he gets a pass. That's a lot of bad luck there, Matt. That's a lot of bad luck. I hear it. Dondo saying he has to go. Okay. Annabelle saying if we lose it, it will just cement that Danny Farker is tactically inept. Matt saying if we lose, Farker is in sub-zero waters. The cold is water's freezing cold, mate. Freezing. BMG saying, I'm not convinced by Farker, mainly due to his record over the last 15 games. However, sacking him is not the right move. After the Mars, Scoobs, Gracia, Big Sam era, which was 3 months, we need stability. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm all with you with the stability thing, and that's why I want him to get it right, BMG. But ultimately, if you're not getting results, what can you do? We're just going to keep on playing with him until what? Until we're completely out of the top 2 race and then hope to make it into the playoffs again, which absolutely nobody wants. It's all well and good talking about that era, and I agree with you, BMG. I hated that era of switching managers and getting no rewards for it. It was absolutely horrible. But even I, at the time, the only time I've ever done it on this channel, said Gracia out because I thought he was absolutely terrible. Like he was terrible. I thought anyone can get something out of this team, and we made that 2 games too late because the 2 winnable games, if I remember right, was Bournemouth and another one, and we did it too late in terms of Gracia. But guys, what I would say is that if the results, people were saying 10 games, some people said by Christmas, but we're 5 games in. And for me, we haven't had the results that we should have had so far. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. Everyone always has a more reactive base when the result happens. There's always, listen, I don't want to say his name, but there's always one guy on my channel that will drop a comment on a match reaction about 3 days later. And I might have to shut off the comments after 1 or 2 days because you're not giving me your true reaction. You've let it calm down for 3 days before you give your reaction. That should be illegal, I think, on match reactions. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, bad times. But this is where you'd hope, though, and this goes to BMG before. This is where you'd hope the 49ers would have a contingency plan. You should already kind of be planning for this, even though it's people feel it's dirty. You should already be thinking, wait a minute, this isn't really going the way that we thought it would be going. Who's out there available? What's going on? And you should always kind of already have half a contingency plan in place, like many other big clubs do as well. But listen, Andy saying Farker's got more excuses than Jesse Marsh. Yeah, it's funny though, Andy, with that because a lot of people used to hammer Jesse Marsh for his excuses. Don't really see that from the Farker lovers. You know, it's the legitimate reasons, whereas Jesse Marsh has always had excuses. Funny how it goes though. Funny how it goes. But listen, let's just hope we don't need to hear any of those excuses tomorrow and we get 3 points. That's the thing for me. So in the comments, give me your score predictions, give me your preferred lineups, whatever it may be. Give me your thoughts on the game. And listen, tomorrow the match reaction is in the link. There's a link in the description. Hit the bell. I will be going live straight after the game to give my reaction to the game along with you guys, and we'll talk about it in detail then. But listen, people, hit a like before you go as well. Really important to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video, people. Peace out. Just win, Leeds. Just win.